to correct their false analogy, a better analogy would be, rather than the Clark Kent nonsense, Superman, imagine Bill Cosby as a comedian. And Bill Cosby is thought to be perhaps, let me put this on a different page. Perhaps one of the funniest men. So we're going to say for the sake of argument, okay, Bill Cosby is one of the funniest men. Let's say it's 1978 or something. Oh, I'm not saying I think he is. This is just a dumb analogy. Bill Cosby is the funniest man around. We honor Bill Cosby as the great comedian. However, a group of cunning marketing and sales pitch men have come up with an idea that it's not actually Bill Cosby that's the real funny man. There's Charlie Cosby, who is Bill Cosby's unknown cousin, who happens to look almost just like Bill Cosby. And so these clever marketing con men set up and devise a completely staged and fake comedy show using pictures of Bill Cosby, and they sell out a giant theater, a giant auditorium for Charlie Cosby, the real comedy master. And it's sold out. $100 a ticket. A giant stadium sold out. And then it turns out it was a scam. It turns out Charlie Cosby doesn't exist. He's not actually a real thing. Well, it looked real. There was all the similar ideas and attributes to Bill Cosby. Look, there's a picture. And it's got Bill Cosby's nose. It's got his cigar. It's got his feeble fobble zeeble zobble going on. It's got it all. But they just took Bill Cosby's picture, called it Charlie Cosby, and maybe they even played a few clips from Bill Cosby and said, this is really stuff that Charlie Cosby wrote. And Bill took it. Bill is not who you want. You want the tickets to Charlie because he's the real funny man. But then when you show up, you find out there's no Charlie Cosby. The only authentic one was actually Bill the whole time. And so you got duped by con men who gave you a false conception, an ideolatry, an idea conception that was actually a delusion. So that's the real analogy that's appropriate to how the false conception cancels out worship. And that's what they're not understanding, because in much of the Roman Catholic world, because they're not Orthodox, they don't understand that worship and the faith is not an assent to a bunch of propositions. In Roman Catholic theology, you can lose charity or the love of God and maintain the faith. So when you're in a state of mortal sin, you have lost the charity of God, the love of God. You're in a state of damnation. And the only way out of that is to go to confession, receive absolution, to be restored to a state of grace. But if you commit mortal sin, you still perhaps have the faith, but you've lost charity. This is, Aquinas talks about this in the Summa very clear. And thus, in that notion, you could be Catholic, believe the faith, worship God, but you don't have the charity that gets you to the state of grace. And how is that? Well, because for them, when they talk about the faith, most of the time, many times, they mean the individual's assent to the propositions of the magisterium. An intellectual assent. That's what they mean.